Don't live in the past. We need to take Singapore football forward. We need to take the Lions forward. And if moving on from Shah Alam helps us to do that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Welcome back to part 2 of Yahoo Footballing Weekly with me, Yahoo columnist Neil Humphreys.
And me, Yahoo editor Chia Keong.
It's just the two of us this week because we are talking all things Singapore football, as we always do in part 2. And we couldn't do it if we didn't have your wonderful, wonderful comments. So thank you for sending so many in. They're good, aren't they?
Because you keep sending in comments,
yes,
we keep getting sponsors.
We do.
Yep.
StarHub. We love StarHub.
So this weekend gonna be a big thing. StarHub is gonna be showing its first live screening of the season, and it's showing a big match, Merseyside derby, Liverpool versus Everton.
Yep.
From 6:30 onwards, go down to Capital Singapore next to City Hall MRT station.
Yep.
There's gonna be food and fun and drinks and games definitely. You're gonna have a good time.
Yep.
Come down and watch it live.
You're guaranteed goals.
Yeah.
Guaranteed goals. Neither
teams
team can defend to save their lives. So
you guarantee red cards? You didn't guarantee red card?
Oh, it'll be feisty.
Yeah.
Sean Dyche's Everton. It'll be feisty. It'll be feisty.
Yeah.
So it'll be a good game. Get down there with your football
bring
khakis.
all your football khakis. Come down.
Yeah, enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And as we said at the top of the show, as always, Instagram, Facebook. What do we call Twitter this week? X. Instagram, TikTok. We're getting comments from you guys every week.
Always,
Thank you.
Every time we get very constructive comments, all wanting to make Singapore football better.
Like the one from Sunny, who does not hold back in the first comment. Thank you, Sunny.
Sunny Ang 6464. I suspect the main reasons why our local league is just lumbering along all these years are the lack of desire, willingness, and heart from the authorities and bureaucracy. So many obvious things that can be done to improve things that are not being implemented, and I don't believe the authorities are daft people. So obviously, it's the lack of heart. Everything is just shuffling along.
Wow. Now that's how you kick it off.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But obviously, I also feel a lot of things can be done better. I think marketing-wise, like our previous guest, James Wharton had said
from Deloitte.
Yeah, from Deloitte has said, there leaves a lot of there's a lot of ways which you can do market the image of Singapore football much better than what is happening currently. So yeah, I agree, but I won't be that harsh. But I think they are the marketing side of the FAS. I think they are also doing their best, but it's such a big. So many things, such a big area to market. I don't think they have enough staff to do that.
No, and I take Sonny's point. It just feels like it's lumbering along, and I don't think there's a lack of desire or willingness. I think they do genuinely try their best.
They do.
And it is. Look, I'll say this right up at the start. It's easy for us to sit here in a podcast and say we need to do this, we need to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. We need to do this, we need to do that. Which is, it would be nice in an ideal world if Singapore football adopted the Ange Postecoglou model, which is, Postecoglou has this very interesting take on his position, which is, I'm already fired.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before I lose my job. So I might as well take a few risks, a few gambles, knowing that some won't come off.
Yeah.
But one or two might, and it might be creative and it might push the game forward. And sometimes I think Singapore football, it is our mindset here. We're so concerned about the rice bowl, protecting the rice bowl and the KPIs, that we don't want to step out of our comfort zone and take a gamble.
We keep doing things that were successful 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but times have changed. Right? Yeah. People have moved on. Obviously, the state of football is different from 10 years ago. So you need people like Postecoglou, that kind of attitude. Try something new. That's what we say on this show, right? Yeah. Try an all-day carnival outside Jalan Besar. Just try it. Get Uncle Ringo's, bring in the vendors, get the Keropok and the curry puffs, and have a real family fun day outside Jalan Besar. Just try. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, no one's going to get fired or lose their job. Try something else. If you lose money from the venture, you'll still get your seed money. Yeah, you still get... Bring the Pasar Malam down. Get in touch with the Pasar Malams. Get them down. Do something. Try something. Yeah, just to get a fan. Anything to get a fan. Yeah. So that comment got a reply from another fan. Hiroyuki Shinchi 9873, also a long-time fan. And not to forget the difficulty of government agency like Sport SG to balance fairness too. You give football too much funding, other sports will be screaming unfairness. What about swimming? What about track? What about table tennis? What about badminton? What have football produced these years? Also a bit harsh. But
we take all comments.
But it's
Thank
true.
you.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, if you keep on, if you say why don't we give more funding, seed money to football? You know, the other is I mean, we've covered the sports scene for a long time. Other sports associations will not be happy if all the money gets channeled to football. And they have right to be to feel unfair because they have been winning. Swimming have been winning at the SEA Games. Badminton, you got Low Can You. Table tennis, they used to be winning. Even now, athletics, you have Shanti Pereira. So Sports Singapore can't say, I only care about football. They have to spread the wealth around. And which makes the FAS, the marketing side, even more important. You really need to go out, step out, and find your sponsors, because the sponsors won't be like we want to come and sponsor you. You have to go and make your pitch. You have to go and convince them that our philosophy is the same as yours. I think we can work somewhere along the line.
Yeah,
and then there you go. But you have to do the work.
No, I agree with that. I couldn't agree more. And this may seem contentious. I don't have a big problem with football getting greater funding than other sports. Hang on. Because it is still our national sport.
Oh, yeah.
So these figures are not pulled out of the air. They're determined by participation. And football remains our biggest mass participation sport event.
And to all fairness, they're already getting the most
money. Correct. Yeah. So I don't have an issue with the funding per se, as opposed to other sports. Clearly, government has sat down and said, right, football gets this much participation, therefore it gets this much funding, because it is still our national sport. Right. That part I don't have an issue with. What I do have an issue with, where I might agree with this point, is if you're getting the funding, but there's no results at the end of it, then you've got to be a little bit under pressure, because other associations with arguably fewer resources and less funding
being successful,
are getting medals, are winning on the international stage. That's when it's a valid argument. I'm not worried about the funding. I'm more concerned about what you do with the funding. If you're not getting results, then you can't complain too much when listeners like this, viewers like this say, hey, you're not doing enough with our taxpayers' dollars.
Yeah, it's always about the taxpayers' dollars.
Always about the taxpayers' dollars. But let us know what you think. As always, send your comments too.
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, and Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
Brilliant. Now, I like this next comment from Frankie talking about the women's football, right? This was a really good comment.
Really good suggestions. So he said, couldn't agree more that we need to keep momentum going with women's football. There are several ways which we can move forward. Number one, the national team. I think we can expect an AFF Women's Championship next year. So the head coach, Karim Bencharifa, can use that as a target to work with his team. And I would think that the best approach might be, as what Neil suggested, for the men's national team previously, which is to identify a core group and drill them to the best condition. Second, the domestic club scene. I think it's excellent that we have started to have foreign professionals in the league. That will certainly raise the profile and standard of the league. Third, the international club scene. There will be an AFC Women's Champions League starting the next season, 2024-25 season. We should aim to have our club in the Women's ACL too, because there will not just be progress, but also pathways. Yeah, so...
Yes, and yes.
Yeah, lots of good progress in the Asian women's football.
Yep.
And we have to... I think Singapore women's football have to seize the chance.
Yep.
And, right now, even in other parts of the world, women's football is being taken really, really seriously now. Even you can see the Guardian in the UK paper, the Guardian reporting women's Super League as much as the English Premier League.
Side by side.
Yeah. Yep. So sometimes I hear Liverpool didn't they just draw against Brighton? No. They won the Women's Super League match. So I think it's a great time that women's football is growing, and we are starting to take women's football seriously in Singapore. And we should continue to do that, like what he says, all 3 great points, and we should take whatever chances offered to Singapore women's football.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I just pick up on one of Frankie's points that I really like, which is about foreign players. That is going to be a key step forward. Yeah. Women's football needs more foreign players, because when I think of the fledgling days of the Singapore S-League, as it was called then, in the 90s, the standard was higher because foreign players' standards were higher. Yeah. We had World Cup players like Majid Motlar and we had him, and we had Dragan Talajic, fantastic goalkeeper who played for Tanjong Pagar, Jörg Steinbrunner, who played for the German under-21s. We had a higher caliber of foreigner, which forced the local players to elevate their own game. And it's no coincidence that when the funding dropped away, the sponsorship dropped away, and we started to lose that standard of foreign player. And local standards dipped and you could argue they haven't recovered since. Yeah. So women's game, 100% yes. The higher caliber of foreigner you can have, it's going to pull up the standard of local players as well. Great point.
Yeah, and so I think to get the more foreign players in, obviously you have to entice
it costs money.
Money. And right now it's still a semi-pro league and the women's super league, the women's league in Singapore.
Yeah.
So I think it's.
But that's when you can look at corporate sponsorships. Correct. You bring someone over, they work at a Deloitte or somewhere like that, and then they play in the evenings. It's a bit like Batman and Bruce Wayne by day, Batman by night, corporate by day, professional footballer at night. Yep. There are ways around that.
There are ways around that. So even if you are a foreign footballer, I think once they come in, I think probably Lion City Sailors, the team should be able to.
I agree.
To fund them, and I think the more they come in, especially those Thais and Filipinos who are already like a step above us in the region, if you can get some of the top players in, or even the budding players or players like a bit past their prime, but still want to play women's football.
Good idea. Yeah. Good idea. Very good idea. Okay, let's wrap this thing up with a little bit of nostalgia.
A bit of nostalgia, sadder nostalgia.
Malaysia Cup nostalgia.
Now, if you bring up the words Shah Alam Stadium to any old Singapore fans, old local fans, they will remember that as the place where, Singapore won their last Malaysia Cup, 1994.
Yep.
Abasat had
the dream team.
Fandi Ahmad scored a brilliant goal.
Super sub Stephen Tan,
Nazri Nasir, Mohan Abu Sama, Kadir Yaya. You can rattle off all. They will rattle off the whole starting 11.
But ask them to name one today.
Next one today they can't. So Shah Alam Stadium had a very close. It's like a very close tie with a lot of fans here. They remember it fondly. That's for sure. And unfortunately, this stadium is probably going to be torn down. Whether they're going to build a new stadium there, not sure. But because, Shah Alam Stadium, close by is the Bukit Jalil National Stadium.
Which is a far superior stadium.
And both of them are 80,000 crowds. And nowadays, Shah Alam doesn't draw 80,000 crowds anymore. I actually was at Shah Alam Stadium 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
For?
Sultan of Selangor Cup. You still remember that?
Yeah, of course.
It's a friendly between ex-Selangor club players and ex-Singapore players. So that time I followed Fandi, I followed Malik Awab, Rafi Ali. They all just want to go up and have a good time, meet up with So Chin An and all the old players, just to have a nice gathering. And it's like a very friendly things. But the stadium, oh my God, is crumbling to say the least. The roof tiles are missing. The stadium looks dusty. Some of the chairs are out. It really looks bad as a for 80,000 stadium. It looks majestic, still looks majestic. But once you look closer, there's a lot of crumbling things. So that's what I felt the first time. I thought, there's a problem. I think they should refurbish the stadium. Unfortunately, now they're going to tear it down.
Yeah.
So, and really, Singapore fans, once they heard about it, I remember 1994 all over again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, stadiums, once you don't use them often, once the crowd, not enough crowd goes in, very quickly it gets
especially in this climate, they don't survive. But you make a really great point. Look, I champion heritage. I've written books about heritage. But when you talk about a crumbling, dilapidated stadium, the metaphor for Singapore football, for Malaysia Cup, is almost too obvious. So as much as I would like to preserve the heritage, I'm not that sad in the sense that if there's one positive to come from Shah Alam going down, it separates that umbilical cord between Singapore and the Malaysia Cup. Look, I love the Malaysia Cup. I love what it did for Singapore. Respect the past, cherish the past, but move forward. Don't live in the past.
That's true.
Don't live in the past. We need to take Singapore football forward. We need to take the Lions forward. And if moving on from Shah Alam helps us to do that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And one thing you can do is to go down to the National Stadium and watch the Lions play. This is a very new stadium we have, and it's pretty good stadium. I will tell you that.
Yeah, it's a good stadium.
Yeah, it's a good, wonderful stadium. The acoustics are a bit dodgy, but fine.
Yeah,
it's still a very, when you stay there, it's the facilities are top of the line.
Great point.
Great facilities. Go down and watch the games.
Listen to my friend, I couldn't agree with him more. We cannot live in the past if we want Singapore football to move forward. But as always, let us know what you think. Should Shah Alam be knocked down? Should we keep harkening back to the Malaysia Cup? Yeah. Send all of your thoughts and comments to
Yahoo Southeast Asia on YouTube, Yahoo SG, Yahoo_MY on Twitter, Yahoo SEA on TikTok.
As always, thanks for watching. Without you, we wouldn't have our wonderful sponsors, StarHub, which is giving you something back.
Yep. Now you can sign up for the Premier Plus package. Not only will you get all the live matches, EPL matches, broadcast on your live streaming, on your laptops and everything, you also get 1 year free broadband.
That's so good.
Wonderful, right?
That's so good, that deal. It annoys me so much because I signed up for something else last year. It still annoys me. Yeah. But you can have it, and you are welcome to it. You deserve it.
Also, join into the live screening this Saturday.
Yes.
Capital Singapore, Liverpool versus Everton.
Yes. Goals guaranteed. Maybe a feisty red card or two. Yeah, there'll be a feisty game. Yes. Get down there, enjoy the game. And as always, we'll be back, same place, same time next week. Thanks for watching.
See you.
Take care.